And welcome back to another episode of GL Rustic Design. Today we're going to be working on a outdoor chair that you can do it yourself. So just the first cut list, you'll need 4 pieces, 4 2x4s at 22 1/4, and then you'll need 6 2x6s at 25 1/2, 2 2x4s at 28 1/2 for the armrest. 4 2x6s at 22 inches for the front and back slats, 1 2x4 at 22 inches back top, and then you'll need some 4 or 5 2x4s at 22 inches for the side slats, and I'll also link this below. So your first step here is you'll need to take the legs that you cut at 22 1/4 inches long, line it up with one of the slat pieces that you cut at 25 1/2 inches long. I use a countersink bit, and then make it flush with one of the sides, whichever side. The side that's flush will be on the inside, and then you're just drilling 2 holes. I use 3-inch Torx screws. And this will make one side of the actual chair, so you'll need to do this times 2 to get both sides. So like I said, here you have you need 2 leg pieces at 22 1/4, and then you'll need 3 side slats, the 2x6s at 25 1/2 inches, and then I use a 3/4 just scrap piece of wood I have laying around for the spacer that's in between, just so I don't have to physically mark it off and find out where I need everything to be. So like I said, you're just repeating the process. You'll need 3 of the side slats that are cut at 25 1/2 inches long, the 2x6s here, 2 screws in each side. So then you flip it over, do the other side. So there's 4 total screws, and then you'll just rinse and repeat. Move the spacer block, if you choose to use a spacer block, up to the next side. And here again, I'd like to mention, you'll need to do this twice. And then the very top, once you get these 3 2x6 pieces put on, you'll need to put the top armrest on, which will be at 28 1/2 inches long. So you have 2 of those, one for this leg and then one for the other leg. And also, while we have just a quick second, I'd like to just please ask that everybody subscribe to my page. It helps me out a ton as far as keeping motivated to put more videos out there. Trying to get more subscribers. My wife and I are about to build a house, a new shop. I'm gonna get all that on footage. So please just hit the subscribe button below. And I'll also link the Countersink bit that I use. And the reason I use that, it's not necessarily needed, but just so at the end it makes it easier when I go back and when I put the wood filler in the holes in the end, and I kind of sand it down. It just makes it easier to do that, and I know the screws are all the way in there. This will eventually be painted or stained gray once the chemical in the wood actually dries. So like I said, you have the armrest. They'll cut it 28 1/2. One for the top, 2 screws in each end. Nothing that's not a real big deal. And then once you make both of these side legs, like I said, the inside pieces will be the flush side as I do a little quick walk around. So you come to the part that's going to be on the outside, and then you're going to drill 2 holes with the countersink bit. This will be on the back, and you could also go ahead and do the front bottom piece for the front, which is shown in a later portion of the video. But I used the same 3-inch screws in both sides, so just make sure you line them up pretty decently. So all these holes will be eventually filled back in so that you won't see any holes. I'm really not big on letting holes show as far as most of my work, but when it comes to outside stuff, you kind of really have no option as far as just drilling holes through the wood. I usually like to use a pocket hole or some kind of joinery method, just to save for looks, but in this case I didn't. So like I said, here, once you get done drilling your holes, I went ahead and placed my 3-inch screws. I will go back and use the rest of the other 3 side slats, and this will be the back. Here I just laid out some 2x4s just to kind of make it even, so I really didn't have to fight with making sure that it was level into the wood. So here are those holes that you drill on the outside. That's for connecting. All this is going to be the back of the chair. So you just drill those 3-inch holes. You attach those 3-inch holes into the sides of the side slats. Make sure that the slats are lined up with the side, and then you'll also come back around and do the other side. And when I get to the other side, you'll see how. It's just a simple line everything up, kind of where I had the screws. Same way on the opposite side. Make sure everything's nice and even, nice and parallel, and you go ahead and punch those screws in. And of course, we always like to get better at doing our videos. I'm still new to the whole YouTube game. So if there's anything you'd like to see better, camera angles, maybe try to get a little bit more detailed as I talk, just please drop a comment below and let me know, any ways that I can improve on. I just surpassed 100 subscribers, which was kind of a real surreal moment. Just because I hadn't, it's been started 8-9 months ago, and so it's slowly growing. So here you have the back slat, or the back armrest, not slat, the back armrest, which will connect to the back slat. That will be cut at 22 inches, and you just lay that, line it up. I drilled 2 holes with countersink bits, same 3-inch screw through the top, which like I mentioned before, I will go back and make sure that the holes are puttied in and then stained or painted, whichever route we decide. And then here, we're going to be putting on the bottom front slat. You could have drilled these holes. Probably would have been better off while you're drilling the other holes, but I just decided to do them all in one, or to do this as a separate step. I said, so it's 2 holes per side. Like I said, this will be on the bottom slat of the front. This is where the front of the seat will connect. And then you just use 3-inch screws, and then another side slat at 25.5 inches. No, I'm sorry. The side slat that's at 22 inches, not 25.5, so 22 inches. You'll use this here, just to make sure everything stays lined up. And then you punch those holes in. and then you'll need to come back and so the next step, I rip a 2x6 just because I have another chair to make of the same. But generally, you just use a 2x4, rip it in half, and then that will be the underneath the seat where you connect the 2x4s, where you're actually sitting to put your cushion, if you decide to use cushions. So, like I said here, I'm ripping a 2x6. Just because I'll need more of the wood, and then I'll drill me 3 countersink holes in the ripped pieces, preferably the longer side of the ripped pieces, just so that the screw doesn't have a chance of going all the way through the wood, but it's still in there. So 3-inch screws per ripped piece, and then just mount those. I grabbed another stock, just a scrap 2x4 piece, mounted it where the where I plan on mounting the 2x4s for the bottom of the seat, and then I just took the ripped piece and attached it where that needed to be. And you see in the next step how I attach the 2x4s. Sorry for the camera angle. But when I twist it around, you can see when I put the 2x4s, you just lay them in there. You can use 4 or you can use 5. You could probably even use a small sheet of plywood here. But I use more countersink bits, countersink holes. Punch me some holes in there, some 3-inch screws, and then your chair's done. I'd like to thank everyone who watches these videos as I climb this journey up the YouTube mountain. But see you next time.